Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the free-to-play account. Hopefully we can do some summons. 31-4 has been an absolute nightmare. Want to run through, want to do the dailies. Now the Mystic Star Zone is up as well. So we do have the registration for that. Hopefully give us a couple fragments, possibly getting a new hero in there. We're working on getting all the mentor tasks. My mentor has been sticking with me. And it's funny because on one account, you are the mentor. Here we are the apprentice or the mentee going through here and really building this out. Looking at short term, always want to look at getting a copy of Athalia. Also want to look at getting a copy of Liberta. They are two heroes that have a crazy amount of utility within AFK Arena. If you are free to play, if you're early game, they're two heroes that are absolutely going to dominate coming through here. And we have to get back on this on a regular basis. So going through, making sure that we're farming everything out, including the Ghoulish Gallery. This unlocked very early makes a big difference. Getting these weekly gifts out of there and making and ensuring that we're doing the summons on a regular basis. Getting a couple even here, any place that we can get some of those legendary totems. We have been doing the exact same. Now all of these doing the same. We have sacrificed all these, or really leveling these up using the same methodology that we see, because we'll get a couple of our epics. The epics, of course, going right into the higher level. I don't think we have enough here to do these, but using our Stargazer scrolls, using everything else that we have. Even here, yeah, we're literally too short, but you know, we're getting legendary totems. We're getting them on a regular basis. Already are sitting on 3 additional ones, which means that we can go through, we can unlock a lot more that we get out of here. Per card, we are free to play. So unfortunately, no dice on that one. In the rewards, we're done. Haven't ran through, haven't done the Arcade Labyrinth. Today, you can see we're already 15 times that we've run through this. King's Tower, absolutely have to push this up a little bit further, but hopping over and getting into the store. Now in here every single day, looking at our quick buy, we buy the exact same thing. Now we want to include the stones, also want to get the time emblem out of here. It is imperative if you ever want to build out the most powerful heroes within AFK Arena, which right now are the awakened heroes. Time emblems are going to be your best friend, and you're going to have to get them always on a regular basis. Now, depending on my gold situation and depending where I am with the primordial emblems, I do pick these up on a regular basis. There'll be a point where gold really doesn't make a difference anymore. Even looking here, time emblems, we're going to pick up some more of these, hoping to get and building out right now the awakened version of Chimera. We could switch it to Envy. We could change it up a little bit. But honestly, looking at Athalia, looking at Envy, two very strong and powerful heroes that we're looking to get within here. We also do have the Challenger Store. Again, going to have to farm this out a little bit further. Trying to probably get Ulna. Looking down here, I mean, we have Merlin. We do have Leonardo. We have Mulan. Overall, I would probably just get Ulna out of here. That would be the solid choice. Even looking here, you know, Arthur and Wukong, not getting either of those. Looking at Baba Yaga, looking at Robin Hood. Also looking at Joan. Unfortunately, meta, none of them are being used. At this point, I might even just get more resources versus getting some of those heroes in the entirety. Resonating Crystal, this is another point where we're gaining a lot more levels. Already at 240 on a couple across the board. Definitely have to build these up just a little bit further. I feel like we're on the cusp of just getting these heroes built up to the where we need them. Getting to the 200, breaking over and getting over with our Ascended heroes all the way to the 220 and eventually to the 240. We know right now 240 is the cap. We cannot go any higher than this 240. So right now, kind of stuck with some of these, building them up again a little bit further. And where we're stuck is the secondary team running Rem in here. I'm going through a bunch of different ways. And thank you, Liz, for letting me borrow that. But running Rem, going in a bunch of different ways, I feel like we need either more levels, which are going to be super imperative to getting through here, or we do need essentially some stronger heroes. Now within here, any Dragon Isles, any scrolls we get, we do use in the entirety. Even looking here, we've been getting and looking at some copies of land, but anytime we can get some cards, anytime a little bit of resources come out of there, absolutely, I want to hop in here, do a couple summons. Dragon Forge Trials, we can finish the first stage. I think only the first stage is the only one that we can finish. Again, looking at the Draconic Heroes, we can get our 2 stars in there, getting a little bit of resources. Nowhere else. We cannot push anything else. We cannot get anything else on there. And a lot of players were asking about an update on the free-to-play account. Absolutely wanted to cover this. Let's go ahead and do a furniture summon. Boom, we got a mythic piece right there. Could it be? It is for Liberta. Liberta, again, still really my big priority number 1 to build. Getting built out a little bit further when it comes to Ivan and a few other ones. utilizing all of the cards we're getting, whether it's red cards, whether it's, getting these legendary cards, utilizing everything that we are getting in a lot of different game modes. And then we do have the events that are up. Legacy of Grit, still have another 2 weeks on it. Heroes Covenant, we're probably not going to get a much higher. We could get E-Round with a couple scrolls if we did the swap form, but overall, not really worth it. Mystic Star Zone, we just did the enrollment in here. Heroes of Espria has already been completed, as well as most of the other ones. Then we do have the Bountiful Trials in here. The Misty Valley is completed as well. So we're doing really good when it comes to building this out and making progression. And I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. Field of Stars, we got another star that is opening. AFK Arena gold drops plus 80%. 100% we want to pick that up anytime that we can get more gold. Again, earlier game, gold is a constant issue when we're making progression. But as we continue to build that out a little bit further, gold becomes less and less of an issue to the point where it is really no issue or we do not see it anymore. Now in here, we have been building out EXP. We know this is still going to be super important. We could also swap in some baits. Early game, I'd probably go in, I'm going to stick with the XP for one more iteration going in here, just for the simple fact that we are going to need it. Sitting in here, trying to get a couple more of these stones completed. And then of course, I'm getting some essence out of here as well. Going to be important as we continue our progression in there. Wishing Ship, we do get some random stones out of here. We already have 4 of these. And then of course the gifts, never going to use it ever, just like a majority of players. If you are not pay to win, if you're not putting money into the game, unfortunately not going to see a majority of things that are on the merchants tab. So let's pop open all of these chests that we got. Now we did get a couple scrolls out of the Heroes of Espria. Very, very hard this season. I know a lot of players have kind of been talking about how incredibly difficult it was to go through and make progression within the Heroes of Espria. I've seen the exact same, especially on a free-to-play account. Again, very hard, but I want to do some summons in here. And I think we got a couple, might have a couple scrolls, might have a couple other things. Got some tier stones in here. And boom, there is a copy of Nemitsu. 3 more stones, which gives us a copy of Damon. Now, I feel like Damon would be a really, really strong carry for a secondary team if by chance that wasn't the second copy that I got of him. Incredibly hard to make progression when you're not getting some of the heroes. And I believe he's in the wish list. Or no, we don't have him here. That might be why, because we have Mira in here. I'm thinking almost team 2. You know what? I'm going to drop out Lady Simona. I'm going to drop Damon in here. We can have a Randy carry. We can have a Damon carry. We can also have that Rem carry. Couple different solid carries. Now, also remember, when it comes to progression in here, and there, of course, is Damon, we want to make sure, boom, a double right there, guys, including a Chubby Mizoth. That is right. We got the meatball unlocked. Never going to use him, but that's okay. And we got a copy of Nevi. Very cool to see a Hippo in there. But like I was saying, another double. That is crazy, and it's a Celestial. It is the original version of Taylene. They want me to run the Celestial and the Hippo towers. Look at that, guys. Back-to-back Celestials and Hippos. I know you guys are going to yell streaming luck. And 4 elites in a row, including Tricia. Could we go 5 for 5? Could we go 5 for 5 with diamonds in here? We do not. It was just rare, but that's okay, because we just got another 50 out of there, which is cool. Going in here, again, Stargazer, we have no scrolls right there, but we do have 10 more, or 11 in total. Maybe Shamira is going to light us up. There we go, Shamira, as well as 2 rare cards, a couple more resources. That is very, very cool to see. Shamira, we already have at Legendary Plus. Let's see what we can build here, though, because I feel like we just got a lot of additional heroes. Let's run through our factions and see. There is Savius. Now, in here, we're still building out Palmer. We needed 1 more copy of Palmer, or no, maybe 2 more. I think maybe 2 more copies of Palmer, but we do have 3 right here. We can get him up a little bit higher. Gonna have to save some more resources. In here, we have 3, we have 4, so we have Naruko. Again, Naruko is another one. We need a few more copies of Naruko. Then we're going to have to figure out who we're going to build in here. I was thinking Vika or Gorn. And here, another one that we are literally just waiting for more copies. We have 1, 2, 3. Need 1 more piece of food. I think I'm going to go for Misha after we do get Iran built out. And I might actually swap Iran for Misha. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about that swap. And then in here, we did get a couple more copies. We're building out Silas. Just need more copies. An extra copy right there of that awakened version of Shamira. And food, we have one right there. I think that might be the only food that we got. But guys, we got Taylene and we got Mizoth giving us the 5-man crew right there. Dimensional Hero, of course, having Rem. Then we got a couple with the summons that we've done within the Dragon Isles. So pretty happy with that. This gives us 15, giving us a secondary ability in here, which we absolutely wanted to. That's the reason why we focus on building this out in the entirety and focusing on a little bit more tanks, because we do have Aethys in here. We also do have Shamira in here. I feel like that would be a really strong, being able to make a little bit more progression in there. We want to get them to 25. 25 is the goal for all of these. Once we do get to the point of having them built up a little bit, but again, getting them to 25 is going to be the absolute priority when we're building these, when we're building out the Elder Tree. Early game Elder Tree, that is exactly what we're looking for. So Star Zone is coming up. Again, a lot more resources out of here. And let me see, let's pop these open. Another 1,500 essence. Just got to make a little bit more progression. 5 more scrolls. I'm just going to save the scrolls at this point. I don't think any of these, nope, we don't have enough in there. Got a lot of tier stones. Tier 2, tier 3, a couple tier 4s in here. And let's see, do we have anyone else to take to a plus 10 signature item? So 24, we're building this out little by little for Rem. We have 20 right there, 20 already. Again, this is where we're getting stuck with a lot of 20s. Naruko's only at 10. Now Shamira we don't have built. This one we do want to finish out in the entirety. There is the 10. Who else do we have in here? Building up Palmer a little bit further. Here's 19. Boom, that goes to a 20, which of course, secondary team, we are using Iran. And I think that's about it because we have a 10 right there. I don't think we have anyone else that we can utilize for the signature item. I think right there, signature items. Again, that's a 10, a 10, and a 10. And honestly, out of those, I'd probably go with Palmer just for the simple fact of where he's built. We're going to have to build him up a little bit further. So Palmer will be the focus. Again, we're only gaining 1 more level. A little bit more out of there. Got a little bit better gear, which could have went in here for Scarlet. But overall, we are doing pretty well. Again, just need some more levels, guys. 29 to 40K. Got to get a few more of these all the way up to that Ascended level. Because even here with Naruko at that Mythic Plus, we are capped. Need to hit the 220 with everybody else. Then, of course, push them to 240 like we've seen with progression. Going to try to make more progression through the campaign as we're going through here. All of the events giving us some more resources. There we go, another 20 red chests, which are absolutely free. Legacy of Grit, I feel like, again, we could probably swap a hero in there, which I might have to look at to swap somebody out of there, making sure that we're making the most of what we have going on. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Going to try to farm through 31-4, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.